What is the right mindset for wealth? You know, there's a mindset for wealth. Some Christians believe that if you're a good Christian, you should be poor. You know, some Christians believe, and we're coming from Redeem. I came from Redeem. And Redeem is a church, sorry, sir. Redeem is a church that accepts everybody. So when you say everybody, everybody. So, and over time, I found that some people felt that poverty is like righteousness. But it is wrong. And if you have that kind of mindset, you will never prosper. Me, I don't have that kind of mindset though. This God that made fine things, He made it for us to enjoy it. That's the right mindset. Okay. So, quick rhetorical questions that I want you to ask yourself. A couple of things I wanted to do, we won't do again because of our time. How do you view money as a person, as a believer? What do you see money as? A tool, something you must achieve, or we not see, or join? What's your personal view on money? Do you spend as you earn, or do you spend after you have saved or invested? Remember, we are talking about the kind of mindset. Some people earn money, whether they are business people or they are salary earners, they start spending without sitting down to articulate. It's also a mindset problem. If you don't know that you should sit down and budget your money before you start spending, you might never be able to get to wealth. And that's something that is missing in our slides. I didn't talk about budgeting. So let me take some time to talk about budgeting. I have my landlord where I live is also my neighbor, and he says things like, look, don't budget. Ask God to bless you for more money. People that budget are poor people. Every time he says, I'll just be laughing. Because me and Excel sheet, we are very close. So when he's saying poor people, this man is calling me a poor man. I spend my money on paper, Excel actually, before the money comes in. If you don't take the diligence to do that, you will never amount to much. You know why? You will never know whether you are overspending, living above your means, living under your means, what you were able to save, or really how the economy is slapping you. So me now, when I go and check my Excel, if I move backward, I can tell you every month how many percent Milo increased from one month to the other. Because the price I bought it in January, I wrote it down. And then in February, they increased it. In March, they increased it. That's what budgeting does for you. So as a Nigerian, you can tell that things are increasing at 20% every month or at 10% every month. That's the discipline that budgeting helps you to do. Let me give you another example. Let's assume you earn 3 million naira a month and your money comes in. Your wife says, give me money for this. You spend. Your mother, you send. They're asking for something in school. You spend. You have not sat down to write it. By 20th of the month, you have exhausted your 3 million. You reach out to somebody that is owing you, gives you 200. You use that one to block a gap that has come out. Another person just wants, bros, the Lord said I should give you this money. 500 enters. You blow it. You know, you won't even be able to sit down and calculate and see that 5 million entered your hand because you were not budgeting. If you are budgeting, what budgeting will do for you is you will know exactly how much you need to survive in a month. Because you will table your recurring expenses. You will put it down. Then there will be a line for miscellaneous. In fact, when you budget, miscellaneous cannot enter inside. You see me like this. After I've done my budgeting, some things cannot enter inside. Except the ceiling of my house is falling. Some things will not enter inside. And I budget very well. I capture miscellaneous. I have a line for charity. Because we are believers. We must help people. So anything that passes that charity is not going to happen. When you budget like that, your recurring rent, of course, you know you should pay rent every month. Whether you are living, we are paying rent monthly to your landlord or yearly, you should pay your rent monthly. That is why some people will now come in church and say, please help me with my house rent. I don't used to help those kind of help. Because I will ask you, you had 12 months to plan for your rent, and then it has come upon you. You should divide your rent by 12. Every month, you bring it out of your income, whether you are selling or whether you are, earning salary. You bring it out and throw it somewhere. By the time your rent is due, you collect it and go and pay. Never ever wait and hope that by some miracle, rent will come out the month before it is due. To never come out. And until you discipline yourself like that, you'll be struggling. Please, if you won't take anything from everything I'll say today, budgeting. So you know exactly how you are spending. Budgeting will help you. I know how much my income is. I know how much I need to survive. So if I have a need of 1 million naira additional to a month, I know that I have to source for that money somewhere else, because it cannot come from my salary. I am a salary earner. Because I know exactly how much I need, my bills every month. That is why you must budget your money. That way you will not spend money foolishly. You know why? You already know that that money that entered your hand has been spent. It's just there temporarily because you've already itemized it to go out. But if you don't budget, write it. Look, forget Excel. Take a book, preferably one that has hardcover. Start writing. January budget. Okay, wait, we're in September. September budget, right? Because we'll pay salary for September. Write it now. There are basic things that must go into your budget. Your rent, except you are living in your own house, you remove rent, right? Feeding. You know those things. Fuel. Me, I budget fuel for the month so that it will not go over. Because there are some things that if you don't budget them, you overspend. If you budget lights, that this is how much you spend on NEPA this month, you will remember not to sleep off and leave the AC on. Me, the thing used to wake me from my sleep. When I remember that sleep with the AC, we used to time it. You know, you can time most ACs. But because people don't read manual, they don't know. You can time your AC to be on for 1 hour and it to go off itself. You manage yourself. The place will be cool. You use fan and block it. It's okay. You will still sleep like a big man. You God, don't laugh. You see these little things, they eat into your expenses. Some people don't know. You know how we buy these 5 liters of groundnut oil? At a point, because my nanny was mismanaging it, we were using 2. And I do bulk buying every time. So because she will see plenty, we were using more than 1 in a month. What are we frying? Am I selling akara? When you budget, you can pinpoint exactly what you are consuming every month. And you must do it as a couple. One person is always more prudent than the other. As you are looking at me, you know that I'm the one that used to calculate and count all those things. Sometimes it is the man. Mommies, help him and give him the figures. You must know exactly how much you are spending on groceries every month so that when it increases, you know whether you are going for a more affordable option. Like me, I sat down and went for a more affordable option. We were taking lawyer. We came down. You know, as Nigeria was moving higher and higher, you move to a more affordable option to accommodate your budget. But if you are not budgeting, you'll just be doing things blindly. Let me not overflow budgeting. But we get it. Abi? Okay. Questions will come. Next thing, how do you see rich people? You know, this is very important. Poor people don't like rich people. I'm not saying we are poor. We're not poor. But how do you see rich people? Let me tell you a joke I used to tell my husband. When we were driving on the road, because we were driving a Tokumbo car, and we see all these, this is our road, tear up here a lot. And then they are just speeding. My husband will be, I'll say, Biko, give him chance. How can somebody driving this kind of car come near you? You don't want to give them chance. Give him chance. Look at the motor you are dragging with. Right? It's not a bad mentality. It's a mindset thing. If you see people that are rich, don't detest them, don't hate them. Go close to them and find out what they are doing right. Because there's something rich people are doing that average and poor people don't do. Let me tell you one of them. Rich people don't spend the money they earn directly. They invest that money, turn it over, and then spend it. You that I'm talking to, this bros. Is it not as money is coming, you're spending it? A rich man will want to buy a yacht or private airline. He will go to his investment bankers and say, how much? He will ask the price of the yacht. They'll tell him it's 2.5 million. He can bring out 2.5 million, but he won't bring out 2.5 million. He will go to the investment banker and say, how much do I need to bring out to get an interest? How much do I need to bring out and invest in something, anything that will give me 2.5 million? That one will check and say, okay, there's treasury bills here, there's commercial paper here, and Dangote is looking for bond here. They'll bring together all those investments, we'll put it, and then get 2.5 million. Then take the 2.5 million and go and buy the yacht. You'll see him on the road, and you'll be envying him. He didn't spend directly what he earned. Do you understand? Let me break it down. Maybe yacht is too expensive. Let me break it down. Because me, I learned it, and I started doing it. There's something called FGN bonds, federal government bonds. Every month, federal government requests for money from the populace. How will I say, all of us now? They get money from civilians for business. So you buy into the bonds, and there's an interest. The bonds run 2-3 years, and then it's either 17 point something percent or 18%, whatever. You know, the longer the years, the longer the interest. So this is what I do. I carry money and I buy bonds. They give you interest quarterly, right? So it is either 17% or 18% or 16%, whatever the interest rate is of that money that you have put in. So for example, if you buy FGN bonds in October, you will get interest in January because they pay every quarter. So instead of taking 1 million naira, for example, at an interest of 17%, and buying something, you invest that 1 million naira, you will get interest every quarter for the next 2 years or 3 years, as that bond is. They call it coupons. It will come in. At the end of the investment tenure, you will still get your original 1 million. That's how rich people make money. The only thing that you are losing there is you are not having access to that money at the moment, but you will get interest. At the end of the day, you will get 45,000 naira every quarter for the 3 years that you invested that money. That's at 1 million. Imagine that it is 10 million. That's 450. Imagine that it is 100 million. That's 4.5 million. Do you see how they make money? So instead of you, for example, you have something you like to do. Let me use myself as an example. I'm a typical Lagos girl. I believe in you work hard and you play hard. Friday, I like to enjoy. I must eat suya, nkwobi, catfish, one of those things. That's how they trained us, a bad thing, and I stay with it. I budget it. I cannot use the money that I earned to buy suya. No, that's foolishness. So inside of my invested monies, the interest that comes in, I use that to fund my terrible lifestyle. That's what rich people do, that poor people don't do. And that's why you should learn from them instead of hating them. That's the mindset of a rich man. In fact, I was listening to one lady. She said she must turn money over 3 times before she spends it. 3. So she will invest it, get something, invest it. It must go around 3 times before she will spend it. But we average people, we spend everything that we make. And that's why the difference is there. So that's another lesson you must learn today. I will show you as we are talking where you can be putting those money. That rent, I said, pay yourself every month. Bring out your rent and pay. You won't put it in your savings account. You will put it in an investment bucket. There are treasury bills that are 80 days, 90 days minimum, 180 days. You put it there. So if your rent is in, like me, my rent is March next year. Every month, I bring out my rent and I use it and I invest it somewhere. But I make sure that all of them are ending February, March, around that time, so that all of them will just come in. So every month, I don't carry the money and put it inside the bank as savings because there's no interest. The bank gives you 3% for putting money in the bank. But if you use all these apps, safe, and you put money there every month for 1 year, it's 20%. On top of whatever you are putting there, that's a lot of money. That's what the rich people are doing. That's why you cannot meet a rich person and beg them for money and they will have. Have you noticed? They'll say rich people are stingy. They are not stingy. They don't leave cash in their hand. But you will see some of us sitting here, we have like 500K in our account that will be there till October 25th, which is more than a month and can earn you money. How can I just stay without money? How can I just stay without money? Yes, you can stay without money. But the wealthy stay without money. They invest almost everything. So when you go to them, they can't give you anything. You say they are stingy. They are not stingy. They are smarter. Let's learn all those things. It will help us. Finally, do you have financial goals? Because if you don't have a goal, you will not save. There has to be something that you're saving towards. And it cannot just be rent. There are other things that you can save towards. You can save towards a trip. Traveling is very good. It's not for some people. It's for all of us. You can save for your children to go to Ivy League schools. Because when they go, they'll come back and be at the top. We that were sending our children to all these small schools, they will not also go far. There's a reason why they send them to those big schools. There's a circle, there's a network, and they continue to control wealth. Do everything you can to put your children inside there so that you will not continue to be like that. That's a goal. You can save towards your children's education from now. Look at how things are going up. You can decide that your children will go to Pan Atlantic University. It's like 12 million per session. You can start now and you put it in something that grows. So let me talk a little bit about compounding. The difference between savings and investment is compounding. When you put money into the law of compounding is that there's an interest rate. Remember, when you were small, simple interest, principal times rate times time over 100. You remember it, all of us did it compulsorily. So there's a rate when you're investing. So bring this money, put it in this investment, because the basis of investment is somebody needs money for a business. It's either a public sector, government, or a private sector, Dangote. That refinery is all of us that own it. My money is inside. He didn't build it with his money. He opened it up. They call it bonds. For 30 years, people locked their money. That's how they transfer wealth. People put correct money into building that refinery. So all these things that you're hearing, Dangote, it's all of us. It's not just Dangote. He doesn't have money. He took money from the public. People bought in. Right? There's a rate that put in your money, lock it in this business for 30 years at so rates. 15%, 19%, 30%. Interest comes every quarter. But your original capital still stays. As Dangote is selling all the oil now, as the refinery is working, they are paying dividends. That's what they call it. They'll pay you interest. They'll keep tabs. But at the final 30 years, they'll give you original money. But up until that 30 years, they'll be making money. That's why they call it passive income. Compounding. You can put 5,000 naira in an account every month if it is investment at the particular rate that they give you, right? And if the slides were showing you would have seen where I gave an example. If you invest money, for example, if you bought stock last year for 1 million, you bought stock exactly today, last year. By today, it will be 1 million, 1.52 billion. That's 1,520,000. If you had invested. That's how good the stock exchange market has been doing. We'll come to that in a minute. The idea is for you to understand, leaving money in your savings account is bad. It's bad. It's very bad. Just leave small money, small. 15, 20,000. Add your mama in case of, do you understand? But don't leave big money. Invest it. Because the law of compounding will work for you. And when you invest it, the money grows. Money grows. money grows like a tree. That's one thing you must take away. Money can grow. You can be earning 200,000 and you can make money. You can, look, I wish we were doing like there was laptop and I will show you. You can invest 5,000 naira in an investment bucket that pays 12% interest for the next 40 years and you'll be a millionaire. Every month you put 5,000. Every month you put 5,000. In 40 years, that you can just decide now. This is my child. How old is he? I want to make sure that by the time he's 25, he can access a particular amount of money. You backtrack and calculate, put it in an investment bucket. The law of compounding will work. In 20 years, you can give that child 25 million, 30 million, as you said. I wish we could do the calculation, but it's possible with the law of compounding. So the point I'm trying to make, you must have a financial goal. What do you want to do? It can be short term, it can be long term. Short term, you want to buy a new car, right? Long term, you want to buy a house. What is the goal? There has to be something. Because the problem is some of us don't sit down and think about this. We just take life. Sufficient for the day is the evil thereof. It's not good. But all these people that have gone ahead, they've sat down to think. Elon Musk is thinking about how people can live in the sky. That's why he keeps coming up with all this kind of thing. Me, I never chop belleful. I did think sky. You know, the difference is who is sitting down to think far. So you must set for yourself a goal. When you now have that goal, you will now be looking for how to go there. Let me run faster because it's 45 minutes. So before we go into the details, we all know about inflation. And let me just talk a bit about overview of current situation in Nigeria. 3 things I want to highlight on inflation, the Nigerian stock market, and then real estate. Inflation has been high. You know, even as a layman, you will know that inflation is high. Right? Inflation is when our currency is having issues. And then both interest rate to investment rate to all of these rates go high. It goes high, inflation goes high. What you need to know, it affects prices. So all of these things that President Tinubu did, floating the naira, you know, all of those things affected us. Inflation skyrocketed. In fact, in February, inflation went to about 32% because dollar was so high. That's what further affected food, transportation, everything, and we have been suffering. Now, as a financially literate person, you should be mindful of inflation going up. As of today, inflation is around 20-something%. I'm not sure. It has dropped. We are doing better. But the implication for you, leave the big English, is that whatever you are doing with your money must beat inflation. Do you know how much the bank gives you for keeping money in your account? Who knows? Who knows? 3%. If inflation is 23% and the bank is giving you 3% for keeping money there, look at yourself. You are losing money. Your money is depreciating. So for every day that 10,000 naira is staying in your bank, is depreciating by 23%. But we are not counting it. We are not realizing it. But the reality is the moment you bring it out to spend it, that money is no more 10,000 naira. Whether you accept it or not, it has depreciated. What you want to do is look for what puts you at par with inflation rates. That money has to be making money. So me, when I want to invest, I'm looking at it. Inflation is 23%. You are giving me 12% for 3 months. It doesn't work now. Do you understand? If you don't even understand it basic, how will you now be weighing where to put your money? Because there are different things. There are different ways to put your money, right? Some are time sensitive, like the federal government bonds, I told you, comes out every month, but it's 2 or 3 year tenure. Okay, let me quickly make this point before I forget it. Federal government bonds is good. There's a hack that I did. So if you pay federal government bond October, you will get interest. Let's assume you have 1 million, let's use 1 million, at 16% or 17, you will get 45,000 in January as interest. You will get 45,000 every quarter till maturity. And it always comes out 2 or 3 years. There's like 1% difference in the interest rates. So it comes out every quarter. What I did was, if you save for 3 consecutive months, if you buy into the federal government bonds, you would have put yourself in a position to earn interest every month. I can show you on Excel. I don't know how to explain it. If you buy this month, in the next 3 months, you'll get interest. You buy next month. In the next 3 months from next month, you'll get interest. You buy the following month. In the next 3 months, you'll get interest. And you stagger it for 3 years. Every month, after the first quarter, you'll get 45,000, 45,000, 45,000. It can be more, it can be less, depending on how much you put in. Do you understand it? It's passive income. So you just put yourself, and then you tie that money to something. You can say baby milk, or Pampers, whatever it is, that, or fuel. You tie that money, it's free money. When the money comes in, day before yesterday, I got the one for this quarter. God, it is so sweet. It's free money. Because at maturity, I'm going to get my complete money. You see little ways that you can earn money, no stress, and you can do it yourself. You don't need an investment banker. It's very easy now. All these things, they are in apps. Download the app. You just need to read a little bit, study, or you trap somebody like me, and we'll put you through, and then you do it. FGN bonds, as minimum as 10,000, you can do it. So I opened an account for my children. I fund the account with money. Then I take the money from there and I do FGN bonds. And then they are getting passive income. Then I'm reinvesting the money as well. And the money is coming in. That one, you don't need to stress to do it. You just need to be aware. Are you people getting? I'm not understanding the look. Is it making sense? And that's just one way. That one is even long. FGN bond, to me, is very annoying. You tie down money for 3 years for 16.8%. If you do treasury bills, you can see 180 days, 90 days, 250 days, and you'll be getting 12%, 13%. In fact, it was higher, but now the thing is dropping. I don't know. So many people are pushing money in, right? So after inflation, let's talk about stock exchange. So stock exchange is where publicly listed companies. So when a company stay, they need to raise capital, and they don't always have. You can go to the bank, raise capital. Bank gives them very high interest rates, but there's a level you will get to. There are requirements you meet. You can now list as a publicly traded company, where you can now reach out to the public to raise money. Those are companies that can now sell stocks. So when they come to you and say, buy stocks, you become part owner of the company. You buy stocks, and then when they make profit, they share with you as dividends. Banks, most of them are publicly traded. There are so many companies. Dangote Cement, Dangote Sugar, Bua, name them, right? You can download the app. There are so many of them. AfriInvest, so many. You can buy American shares. You can buy part of Facebook. All of these ones you can also buy from your app. You just transfer Naira, right? And I was telling Pastor Chinedu, this thing has to be more practical than just standing in front here and talking about it. What I would have preferred is to be able to open the app and show you people how to download it, how to open it, sign up, and then, make, because theory is theory, practical is practical. But these things are very, very possible. When you buy shares, you also get dividends. From time to time, they pay. MTN is a publicly traded company. Currently, one share is 430 something. I'm sure it's higher if I check it. And they are paying dividends. Me, I target the things I use every day. MTN, for example, that's where I buy data. That's where I buy this thing. So I have to make some money from there. I have something I call Jollof Index. We eat jollof rice in this country like mad people. All the companies that contribute to making jollof rice, they will never go out of business. So you target such companies and you buy shares from them. And then you get dividends. These are small things that you can do to get passive income. It will not affect you. You earn money, you decide out of what you have earned every month, you earn money, you bring out something. Me now, years ago, one day I got Rema. I was reading the story of Joseph in the Bible. You know Joseph now, the Joseph attached to Potiphar, that Joseph, when he became in charge of commodities, what they saved was 20% of the harvest from the fruitful years. It was 20% that carried them for the 7 years of leanness. That was the day I decided that I will save 20% of everything that I earn. So you can decide through other metrics, but that's how I decided. In fact, now I think I do more than 20% if you add rent, because rent is not considered an investment to me, but I invest my rent every year. So you bring out 20%, that is after 10% tithe, you bring out 20% and invest it, and then you split it in different places, and you are getting passive income. See that you still have 70% that you can live on. The only way you can do it starts with budgeting. That's when you are even able to tell that, okay, this is how much I'm taking out. Some people are very senior. They do more than 10% for tithes. They do 30%. They do a lot of that. When you put it together like that, you can buy shares. It's good. The Nigerian stock market has exploded. And that's the irony of things. We say the country is hard. This country is hard. We are at an all-time high. And it is no longer a local. You know, it's no longer local. Foreigners are buying shares in Nigeria, giving capacity to most of the companies. There's so much money to be made. They are paying. I'm eating dividends. This is not theory. This is what happens. They pay dividends. That's money that you earned. You are the one that owns the money. You earned it. You put it inside there, and then you get extra. The thing with stock is volatile. You know, sometimes something can go wrong with the company. They lose money. But I'm a young girl, so I'm happy to take the risk. Right? For example, I bought Dangote sugar and the thing went bad. It was terrible. We lost money. I have some shares that for FCMB, I bought FCMB shares because they did, sometimes this year they opened English. A lot of banks were selling shares. They were getting new shareholders. So there was just an avalanche. What's the name? GT Bank sold, Zenith sold, Fidelity. So I just used the opportunity, because when they come out like that to get new investors, they drop it. All of those shares have risen now. I think we bought GT at 35 naira, 34 naira 50 kobo. Today GT is 65 naira. So even if I've not cashed in, 98. Thank you. You see, I will just open the app from time to time and be calculating. And I think I bought about 150,000 shares. Multiply it by 98. That's how your money grows. So the money you put in is not. And the beautiful thing about the way technology has happened now with those apps, you can sell. So if you have a need today, those shares you can just sell on the app without even leaving your house. You can put in 1 million naira, cash out, and be getting like 4.5 million naira, depending on how you invested. So don't sleep on these things. Believers, we need to start making this money. People are sitting down. Some people don't work. They just maybe they hit it big one time. They were able to do one investment. I heard of a man that bought, I can't remember the company, Otedola's brother, not a man, this Otedola's brother. He put millions of naira into one company. I can't remember, is it Chams? I can't remember the company. I think it was Chams, I'm not sure. And something happened. Their investment their shares just tripled, went from 90-something naira that he bought it. They were selling 1,000 something. The guy cashed out 450 million. Like, Because when you see that it rises like that, you just know, if you are following it, that this is time to just pull out your money. And you just pull out. And he more than tripled his money. Because when you go on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, when you download any of those apps, you will see there's some that we cannot even buy. Even that MTN is hard. Now, how do you buy share for 498 naira? How many do you want to buy? Right? So there are ways and dynamics of it. You can buy petty shares just like that. But shares is a good place to invest. I don't see anybody here that is up to 60. So we are all within, we can take some calculated risk. The last thing I want to talk about before we start expatiating is real estate. And that's, I have something major that I want to share with us today, whether this time works or not. All of us know that real estate has improved. Beautiful. Okay, please go to real estate. That's where we are now. This my slide is fine. Well, skip the introduction. I put a very fine picture there for you people to see me, but we passed that part. Anyway, listed real estate stocks are up by 154.5%. Ask Pastor Chinedu what happened. 2 months ago, we went to see one property in, oh God, what was that place? Just here, along this they were giving us 70-something million. We were doing, the Lord is not leading me. I've not heard well. We were just wasting time. Was it 1 month? One month and a few days. Lord now spoke. We went there. Oh God. If you see how much they called for us, on the corridor of this our axis here, real estate is something else. Please, if you have money, buy land. Go to Ekpe, where they are still selling land, less than 15 million. Buy. Because it will open up. The statistics, you don't even need to wait for the statistics. Lagos is the hub of business, and Lagos is small. So every nook and cranny has to open up, because everybody wants to do business there. If you don't have land and you earn up to 200,000 a month, you are wrong. You are not earning too low to get property, because they have a way they do it now. They stagger it. Everything is retailed in this our economy. They stagger it, help people to buy. People selling pepper, selling sachet milk, all these things in the market. They have land. They go to them and they retail it. So if the property is 1 million or 5 million, they now tell them, okay, pay 700 naira every day for so amount of time. They have different packages. Find those ones that here, not all real investment firms do that. Find those ones and key in and buy land. Me, I've been in this Lagos. I was born in Lagos. Living on the mainland, I didn't used to come to this side. If you call this side, I'll say, what am I going to do there? It's too far. Then I decided to move to this place and saw what was happening here. Child, I wept for myself. If you have opportunity, buy land. Please. Okay, let's move. Next slide. Now that you people can see, it will be easier to relate to the slide. So I put these slides together. Practical steps for couples at different marriage stages. I'll just breeze through it very quickly. Me, I'm a young wife, so you can take the counsel with a pinch of salt, but I think they are good. If you are newly married, agree on joint budget and emergency fund. I did not say joint account. Thank you. I did not say joint account too. Please don't do joint account. Do joint budgets. Can come together and have an account that funds your everyday expense, and then you agree on percentage that who is bringing into the account. But I feel that everybody should independently run their account, because your stories are different, your expenses are different, your vanities are different. My husband is not from the background where they eat suya every Friday or catfish. He didn't grow up like that. He's from a conservative family. Me, I grew up from parents that are jaye, so I carried it. So when I talk about it, he doesn't understand it. Do you understand? And sees it as frivolous. But my brother, that is not going anywhere anytime soon. So it is good that everybody has their accounts so that they can buy suya from their own account. Do you understand? There are peculiarities like that. So operate a joint account for family expenses, but please own your individuality. I haven't spoken about mutual funds. Please start small with mutual funds or saving bonds like these federal government funds. There's mutual funds as well. Mutual funds is when there are all these investment banks, they come together and then they are pulling together investments for different things. So you can just key in. So they bring it together and then they give it a name. They have all these funny names that they give it. You can see where exactly they are investing the money. If you don't have the discipline and the wisdom to decide on which stocks to invest in, you can go to mutual funds, the one that is investing in stocks. There are some like that because the stock market is good. The good thing with mutual fund is that it doesn't go up and down. As you are buying into it, if they say your interest is 15%, your interest is 15%. Unlike stocks, that if the business goes south, you can lose money or not. And then attack high interest debts. Now I put it there. If you're a couple and you don't have any type of debt, it's good though, but debt is the easiest way to fund your life. It is only in Nigeria that people will count 9 million naira and buy a Tokumbo car. Abroad, you will get a car with nothing as much as that. Some organizations are doing it. You don't need to save money. And look, I live in an estate where there are fine houses. Me, I'm a tenant. Most of the people there, they are landlords. Well, I don't envy them because most of them are elderly. It's not like they are no young people. They are elderly. They waited until they were 50-something. They now built mansions. I want to live in it now. The only way you can live like that is through debt. Debt is not bad. That's one thing people don't know. Debt is not bad. Debt is good. And there's something I want to share with us today that is on debt. We're going to it. Next slide. Thank you. If you are mid-marriage, so if you're married for like 10 years, target savings with at least 20% savings rate. There's an app called Optimus. They have, it's not an investment, but if you save inside of that, there's a package like that. You save a specific amount every month, you are putting it in there, you get 20%. Still, I don't understand why people will not leave money in the bank when you can put money inside there and be getting. In fact, there are so many of them where you just have, some of them call it float, they call it different things. Maybe you are saving towards buying a car and you are just putting a specific, same amount is going in every month. They give you interest rate as high as 20%. I feel couples should target that and put there. Diversify your investments, stocks, real estate, insurance. You can make money from insurance. Your life insurance, you're putting money there, and then any day anything happens, or at maturity. Because some people used to think I should just save money so that when I die, my children will take it, or my wife. You may be alive and your insurance matures. You take your money, it's your money, right? And it grows. So if you have been married for up to 10 years and you don't have insurance, you're wrong. Please find insurance. Diversify investment, put it. Please go back to the last slide. The last thing there, did I miss it? Plan education fund, yes. That is why big people, their children in school outside. I hope these rich people, wealthy people, as I'm saying, is not offending anybody. But they are just a class of people that are smarter with money. And this event is that smart money. They plan for education. They don't pay school fees out of money earned. Most of us here pay school fees out of money earned. That shouldn't be. You should have an investment bucket. And then from the interest that comes out of there, you pay school fees. Because school fees is structured. There are 3 terms. Right? In a year. And you know it. It's not coming upon you on... Is it time up? Okay. It's not coming upon you unexpectedly. So you should be able to put in an investment that gives you that thing. It's delayed gratification. That's what people don't know about big people. That's why if you go to big man house, you cannot eat more than 2 slices of bread for breakfast. They don't spend so much money on food. They put everything into investment. They don't have enough to feed. They are always hungry. I have a very rich uncle that, oh God, all through our life, he was always coming to our house to eat, but he was living in VGC. He was among the first people that bought a house in VGC, but he was always hungry. The truth is, he will invest and forget to keep anyone for food. That's how these people operate. But look at us here, all of us. Me and my husband can finish 1 loaf of bread in one sitting. 1 loaf of bread, 1,600 naira. And we're not eating only the bread. There's tea, there's egg. One sitting. You will never eat like that in a big man's house. That's the difference between the wealthy and us. They don't eat like that. So plan your education fund. Next slide, please. Thank you so much, bro. And then for the older, advanced couples, shift to safer assets. These bonds I was telling you about, like Dangote giving 30-year bond, that's the way you transfer wealth. Imagine investing 50 million in a 30-year bond. When it comes out, your children inherit it. They can never be poor. You know, invest in those. Treasury bills, that's the easiest and laziest way to make money. Treasury bills is borrowing money to the government. You know why buying and investing in government bonds or funds or any of those things is the safest? Government cannot run away. They cannot cheat you. No matter how President Tinubu is corrupt, he will never be able to eat it. There are laws that make it impossible for him to do that. The worst thing is that they'll go and print money and pay people back. They are safer than going with all these public organizations and things. So, you know, when you're older like that, you are looking for a legacy to leave. You are not risking anything. So just go to bonds and T-bills. Secure pension contributions. So now you can use your pension to buy a house. Sure, you know, people don't know. They are just contributing money. Your pension is split into 4 different buckets. 25, 25, 25, 20. And you can use it for different things. If you're out of a job for 4 years, you know you can access your pension. You can access 25%. It's just that it's only once in a lifetime. You can access, me, I've even taken it. That one, when you're out of a job. There was a time when I really needed money. I was doing my MBA, I wasn't working. I went and told them, I don't have money. They gave me 25% of my pension. You can access it to buy a house, 25% of your pension. So if you are not working in an organization that pays pension, you can decide to pay pension yourself, even though it's tricky, because government is borrowing from pension a lot these days, and I'm becoming afraid. But, you know, it's always a gamble. Make a will. Update your estate plan. Please, if you have one land, 250 square meter, please make a will. You have enough to make will. Please don't wait until you are in Dangote category. Make a will. If you have a brother, you have siblings, and then you have married and you have children, make a will and tell us who should take what if anything happens to you. Stop leaving things to chances. It is only average people that leave things to chances. When I was going in for my first child and it was CS, I already had the instruction. My one small Toyota there. If anything happened to me, who will take it? I don't leave things to chances. You must make a will. It's not hard. Tell us. If anything happens to me, please. You see that my sister-in-law, she didn't like me when I was alive. If anything happens to me, my children better not go to her. Put it in writing so that there's no confusion. What you do by doing that is that you arm the law to protect your children. But we leave it to chance in this country where we don't have, what do you call this thing? Ambulance. We don't have ambulance. All of us are at a risk. So I don't know why anybody will be living in Nigeria and just be feeling like the Lord will look, anything can happen at any time. If you have even just one small plot of land and you have 200,000 in your account, make a will. Please, who gets it if anything happens to you? And you have one small person like you, so long as you have a dependent, make a will or your siblings will come for it. Don't leave your wife and your children to the gamble of life. Right? Next slide, please. I don't know how to emphasize this thing. We don't do enough of it. And it's not good. This thing is really small for me. Oh. Let me see. And I didn't come with my glasses. So, I listed savings and investment pathways for us. This will own is like it's touching us, Abby. Let me tell you something. Exactly. Even the women, that's why I use myself as an example now. I use myself. Look, I have a mother. My mother is a very strong person. Very strong. And she troubles my husband a lot. She say, in fact, she says it. God, sometimes she will say some things. Because she knows some things I did before I got married. You know. This rubbish guy, anything major, whatever, she doesn't even hide it. Now you can't have such a thing. And then you leave things to chance. So I've made sure that if anything happens, my mother cannot access it. And she's strong, she's exposed, she's knowledgeable. And she can back, she has brothers that are lawyers, she has police. So she can actually fight for those things. So while you are alive, you make sure that such a person, because we already know, you know your brothers that cannot do this and will come for. I'm married to a family where we had an altercation and my sister-in-law was telling me that if anything happens to your husband now, see the person that will marry you, you better give him that meat. Oh. See the thinking, nothing has happened. She's already telling me that kind of. I always tell my husband, when we are buying something, I'll say, no, don't put it in your name. Oh. No, you can't put it in your name. Please put it in my name. You know that I'm a believer, I'm not going anywhere. Put it in my name so that your siblings cannot access it. You have to be that brutally honest to yourself. You already know yourselves. And me, I used to tell my husband, if anything happens, make sure that mommy doesn't access this. You know, her eye is on this. You know that kind of thing. Have those conversations. Document them. Secure your dependence. If I ask, now if you have a will, you have an estate plan here. Raise up your hand. Let's be honest. I'm going to be the only person. Estate plan. It's called estate planning. Estate planning. Yes, the will is called estate planning. You put down, yes, you put down exactly what should happen to your assets once you go. And you leave it in the hands of people that will enforce it. Once you have written it, nobody, no traditionalist, nothing, no law from your village can take it away from the government. You have secured your wife and your children or your husband, because these days women are earning more than the men. It's not just the men that are earning more, but and you can actually inherit. I know a colleague that his wife died and he inherited a lot of money from where she was working and all those things, because she put him as his next of kin. Then some people, they are alive, their younger brother is their next of kin, their mother is their next of kin, and you have husband or you have a wife. Me, I don't used to understand, you know. Because also the children, if it doesn't go to your spouse, then you are leaving your children out of the equation. You have land sitting somewhere nobody knows about. I remember when I was single, I visited one guy that wanted to marry me in one kind of house. Hey God, I was even afraid as I was entering there. And he was a lawyer. I now asked him, who has this kind of house? Because the swimming pool was big, spirogyra. I was like, if somebody enters here, this person will die. Why are they not cleaning it? The owner had died and nobody knew about that property. He now, that was the lawyer, that's where he used to go and just enjoy himself. It was that day that I decided on estate planning. Before I even started having sense about investment. Because nobody has inherited that kind of property. And his family will be somewhere not knowing that he had that kind of thing. And he's not obligated to go and look for the man's family, except he just wants to do it out of the largesse of his heart. Why leave things to chance? That's part of investment. Don't walk all this work and allow outsiders to come and carry it the way they are looking at me because of time. So I'll just run through this one. Different savings and investment pathway. Please, savings is good. Investment is good. Save money, emergency fund, 3 to 6 months So when you do your budgeting, you would know in a month I need 3 million to survive. Now look for an accessible account and put 3 million times 6 months and put it there. That's your emergency fund. If it is 5 million times 6, put it there. Between 3 to 6 months to be on the safe side. That's your accessible fund. So, and you know that you can't put that money once. You have to be putting it in small, right? Then you do investments. Now you can do fixed deposit in the bank. You get some money on it instead of just leaving it savings account. The money is small, but it's good. Then I've talked about treasury bills. I've talked about government bonds. They have higher yield and the risk is very low because government cannot run. Then there's mutual funds, equity, equity stocks. So it's a balanced bond fund. Diversify your risk. Don't just buy shares, buy mutual fund, buy ETF. If you have mind for cryptocurrency, buy crypto. There's money in crypto. Myself, I don't really know about crypto, but people are cashing out, right? Again, stocks, equities, higher risk, potential higher returns. Just my slides. I can't even see what I put there. Real estate, buy to own your home, and that's the big thing I want to talk about today. I'm just wasting time on all these things. Find a business, even if you work, find something to sell on the side. The fastest way to get money is buying and selling. Find something and sell. Find something that people around you, people that like you, will buy and sell to them. Recently, I was just thinking about it. People in our church, they are starting to appreciate shekere, tambourine. I was just thinking that I will go to redemption camp, pack the shekere like this, and come and buy. I'm an opportunistic businesswoman. I just used to see something. If I notice a gap, I just quickly cash in on it. But I may not be doing it for a long time. So let's be like that. Sometimes you just identify a gap, cash in, make money, invest it. And then cooperatives. I've always talked about cooperative. It's a good way. Cooperative doesn't have interest. The money doesn't grow. But if at any point in your life you need capital, cooperatives will work for you. Right? I put aside money in 2 different cooperatives. One of them I started since I was a single lady. When I wanted to get married, I pulled money from there. I put it back. Every time I need capital, because with cooperatives in Nigeria, it's 10% interest. And you can take double of what you have saved. So if you have 3 million in a cooperative and you need capital, you can get 6 million. You will repay for 12 months at 10%. We not get that kind of anywhere. That's literally free money. So if you have 3 million and you want maybe to buy land, or you just see something, you can take 6 million. You pay back 6,600,000 naira in 12 months. That is cheap money, cheap capital. So when I say diversify, also put in cooperative. Me, I have. Recently, I needed money, capital like that. And I took double of what I had. And it's a lot. Imagine what I've been saving since. Those things come in handy. Next slide, sir. The next slide. Hedge your risk. There are risks in life. Don't put all your money in one asset or one sector. Remember, I said it, just so that if anything happens, you will be safe. Stay informed about macro environment, inflation, currency, and policies. It's just the new policy. Next year, all of us go pay tax. Nobody is going to escape tax. Again, if you don't know it now, and you are not aware, you cannot plan. For example, if you are anything less than 800,000, you will not pay tax. What smart people can do is to go to their oga. For example, you're earning 1 million, so they will tax the 200 on top. You can go to your oga and this thing now can be criminal. People should not judge me. You can move that 200 and they will put it and say it is transport allowance or something allowance. If it is not your basic salary, they still won't tax it. So when you know about policies, you can be smart about it, right? I'm not saying we should cheat, I'm just saying you can be smart about it. Okay? Because that's how the business world works. Most believers don't listen to news. Listen to news. It is important. Happen to Telemundo. Watch news and know what's going on. That's how you know when things are going bad and how to calculate. You see, believers, they are the ones that used to queue in filling station. But some people used to hear early Dangote and Nupeng, they're having issues now. How does that affect you? If you are aware, you will hedge your risk early. Have a mix of short-term liquid assets plus long-term liquid ones. Yesterday I got an email. We did palm oil investments, and they sent the email. They said, it's payout time. God, it was long-term. We did it in January now. So you don't know that palm oil is a serious commodity. And it's export buyers, and you can do in troves of 500K. And we bought at 35K per gallon. They sold at 55. Do the math. I won't tell you how much I put in. Short-term liquid, long-term liquid. Use insurance to cover downside, death, illness, loss. You know that thing they always say, that the average Nigerian is one sickness away from poverty. I reject it in Jesus' name. But it's reality. If you don't have health insurance, you are actually one sickness away from poverty. Right? I don't know why people don't do health insurance. Do health insurance. It helps you. Do health insurance. That simple malaria, typhoid, you can treat it without paying for it if you have health insurance. Because these things can just happen. Toothache, or has it reached? Okay. Okay. Please buy health insurance. Because I don't do it. Children, you don't have health insurance. It's risky. Buy health insurance. Now, NHIS, in fact, I have the link. I will send it to Pastor Chinedu. Register. Go to primary health care center. Let me tell you people something. The best doctors in the country, they are in the public sector. They now consult for the private sector. So it's a scam. Going to private hospitals and paying big money. Just be ready to get some bad smell, bad attitude from terrible nurses. But the best doctors are in the public sector. They are in primary health care. They are in general hospital. They are in teaching hospital. So if you really want good, you go there. Just be patient. You get it. When you go to private hospital, you pay ridiculous amounts to get those things. Except, of course, you don't have time. But if you have the patience, go to the public hospitals. Sign up for NHIS. Buy the insurance. It's good. It covers a lot of things. Half of all those things there, donor funded. You get a lot of amenities. But we'll just keep going to private sector. I'm a health person, so I'm telling you that one from real life. This regular review, rebalancing portfolios. So from time to time, check it. So you're buying shares, don't just be buying shares. You're doing FGN, check it. Is this in really giving me money? When the macros change, for example, Nigerian stock market now, the way the thing exploded, everybody was investing money. They say no money. Everybody was investing money. And this our President Tinubu, his own level of governizing is just terrible. He now followed the data and statistics and found out that the bulk of the money was from inside Nigeria. So where are the people that you say are poor? When all of them are investing. Whereas people have tightened their belt and are really investing. So now interest rate has dropped. So if you didn't buy shares and you didn't make all these investments early in the year, go and see Treasury bill. I was looking at it to invest for my salary in August. I was saying 10 points. This is something that we invested 15 points. Do you know? Hey God, people cashed out. Now everything is dropping. Right? So now I now know that it's not a useful investment for me. I move. So from time to time, you check, you review, you rebalance. Next slide, sir. Thank you so much. So we've talked on this one, estate and legacy planning. I never leave it. Consider insurance, write a will, keep property documents secure, educate your kids on money early. It's very simple. Buy colo and teach them the habit of saving from now. Teach them. Start now. If somebody dash you 200 naira, how much of it will you spend and how much of it will you keep? Negotiate with them. I discussed with my children. My daughter went for party. They gave her party pack. There was piggy bank inside. She would come and say, Mommy, give me money. Let me put in my piggy bank. I said, what did you do that I will give you money? This life is not like that. You must work for it. She's 3 years old. She came first time, came the second time, came the third time. I told her the same thing. She now came. Mommy, let me do something for you. I said, What do you want to do for me? But if I do it, you pay me. I said, what do you want to use money for? I want to put it in my piggy bank. She's 3. It's not magic. You start like that. Don't give them free money. Start teaching them to be smart. Those little conversations, those little things. I mean, I'm a young mom, so you people are senior, you should know this instant. Think of trusts, family, companies. Think of trust and family. If your assets are large, so if you have a younger brother that is struggling, you can still leave something for him, But work on it now. Next slide. So this is the major thing. I will leave the other things during question and answer section. If there's anything that you're not clear on or you want me to expatiate on, I'm happy to do. But you see this thing, I said I wanted to share with you guys. So there's something very nice that's happening. It's called MRIF, Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Investment Fund. If you have heard of it, raise up your hand. Let me know how to break it down. Whether I'll start from the ground or I'll start from, if you have heard of it. Okay. Next slide, sir. This is why I say watch news, read. This thing is all over the news. But people are not taking advantage of it. I don't know why. So it is called Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Investment Fund. This is something that one of the few good things that might come out of Tinubu's government. So, you know that statistically, there's a housing deficit in like Lagos State. I think I had the stat. I don't remember. Housing deficit, when people cannot live in houses, even though we have a lot of empty houses in Lagos, but you can't access it. So Tinubu has decided that, look, in conjunction with the Ministry of Finance, that they will tackle the housing deficit in Nigeria by providing affordable long-term mortgage financing to home buyers and supply side support to developers. That's the big English. I will not break it down. But let me give you a hint of how much they put into this thing. 1 trillion naira. And they are doing it in partnership with private sector. So now, let me now break it down. There's fund that this government has brought out and said, there are plenty of people that don't have house in this country. Let's help them to have house. All of us know what mortgage is, Abi. We know. But it's something that really happens abroad and all those places where you can get a whole house, make a small down payment, and then be paying for the house over time. There's normally an interest to it, right? And that kind of thing doesn't work, hasn't been working in our climate, but now they want to do it. And it is for middle class people like us. In fact, it's for everybody, but I feel that middle class people should key into it. So this is how it works. You can take a loan from the government to buy a house, right? To the tune of 200 million naira. You will pay over the space of the next 20 years at an interest rate of 9.75. It's even lower than cooperative. Now, there are different ways you can access the loan. If you have pension, you can use 25% of your pension to access the loan. There's something else, I don't remember. There are 3 pathways, I can't remember. The other one is equity. You bring 10% of the value of the loan, which is the value of the house that you want to buy. So you find the house. They've created the platform. You can find the house on the platform or outside the platform, but I advise you find the house on the platform. They are also helping developers as well. So if you have a house, you have developed it, is ready, you go and register it on the MRIF. You go there, you search. Before you search for a house, there's a calculator. You put in what you earn monthly. Then they will calculate. You put in your age as well, because this thing is age specific. Somebody that is close to retiring cannot pay for a mortgage of 20 years. So they calculate it with respect to your age. You put it in, and then the calculator will tell you the house, the amount that you can get. www.mrif.com. I hope that's it. I think it's as simple as that. So it tells you, me now, when I did the calculation, my minimum is 100 million naira house. I cannot go more than that. But there are people who are earning very well. You can get up to the tune of 200 million. This thing is a steal, because what you will be paying at the end of the day on a monthly basis will either be equivalent to what you bring out for your rent or less. And you remember when I started that I said we have people in my estate, they are elderly and they are living in mansions. It doesn't make sense when you are not now strong enough to be climbing step, but you have a house that has step inside. You know, I was telling my brother, because I live in a duplex, and some people feel that why did I carry a duplex? Too much for you. I cannot wait until I'm 50 to enjoy life. I have to enjoy life now. So I live in a very nice house. My bed is very expensive. I don't sleep more than 6 hours in a day. I need the bed. When I sleep like this, I touch heaven. You need to think like that. If there's access to loan, go and take the loan. That's the debt I talked about. This thing now is debt. You are going to use debt to finance getting a house. Please, if you live in your own house, raise up your hand, so I know that we are not all together. For me, I'm still a tenant. Okay, so we're talking to the right people. You live in your house, God bless you. So please don't be angry when I say some things. You know, you have. Let me just beg you before I start. Don't be angry, you know. But if you're like me and you don't have a house, consider NRIF. I'm ready to come again. Let's work on this NRIF thing. You cannot, if you start saving money, you cannot. Sir, please give us your age bracket. I don't ask for your age. The bracket. Sir? Sir, I respect you. I honor you, sir. I thought that you would say something older. You see, those are people that have planned themselves very well. And if me and you start now, we'll be able to own our own house between 45, 50. The truth is, a lot of people that save towards getting their own house, if you don't plan yourself well, you're just saving that you will buy a house one day. You will buy it between 55 to 60. And at that age, you are old. Let's tell ourselves this truth. The way I run up and down the step in my house now, I don't think I can do it when I'm 50. So we'll do it now. So if you are hearing about NRIF, take advantage. Look, if you see something 20 million, you can get it. If you see something 30, 50, 70, you can get it. You have access to this information. I encourage you to take advantage of it. If you already have a house, you can still get it and put it for rent and use it to get income, because it is free money. You have 20 years to pay back that money at 9.7. It's ridiculous. See, done the simulation. You'll be, so if I take 100 million, for example, I'll be paying 500 and something thousand a month. But what I bring out a month for my rent is 666. So am I saving or not? And I'll be staying inside my own house. Remember, once you acquire the property, you can sell it. You can rent it. So even if you don't want to get it to buy a house for yourself, you can get it and then rent it out and still get money. Because whatever you rent out will be more than the money that you are paying for your mortgage. Say you buy a 3-bedroom apartment for, what's the going rate, sir, for 3-bed? 85 million, and then you rent it. What's house rent? These are our axes. But when you calculate the 85 million, what you'll be paying back every month will be around 500 or for something. If I had Excel, I would have done it for us here now, based on that interest. So you will even have extra money. Why people are not, so initially when they brought it out, it was 20% equity and then 12%. When I calculated it, it was crazy. So people were not taking it. They got the feedback that it was still too expensive, and then they dropped it, and now it is so favorable. But you need to sit down, do the maths. If you cannot do the maths, find somebody that can do the maths. There's a lot of documentation involved. That's just the downside. And I know that people don't like documentation, but documentation, not the key. Anybody, if you can't do it, find somebody that can do it for you for a small fee, and get them to do. You need to get the house papers, because they'll do their due diligence. It must be a house that has, all of the documentation and everything before they will pay for it. So the way it works is, there are mortgage banks, and in fact regular banks, from what I've heard recently, that the government has pushed this 1 trillion naira to. So you go to the bank, you fill all of the documents that they want you to fill, tax, all of those things. Then they release the money to the property owner. That money, they touch your hand. Pay for the house. Then you can move in, and then you are paying the bank on a monthly basis. You know that you can't default. You know how this mortgage thing works. They can repurpose the house. So, as a couple, you need to, thank you, you have been moving the slides. You need to agree on, whether you want to take it or not. How much you people are comfortable coughing out, because it's a lot of money, but it depends on where. I know a couple that took 50 million. They were very lucky. They got a 3-bedroom duplex somewhere inside this monastery road. I don't know how. Coming to Iran, but they say no more house there. 50 million. By the time they calculated it, the man is paying 105,000 every month for the next 20 years. 105,000. He doesn't even need to pray to pay that money. He doesn't need to, and they've moved in. They're already staying in the house. The people in that estate, it's a very small estate, that are renting there, are paying 4 million for the same type of house. 4 million. So imagine that he's not getting it for himself, and he just gets it so that he'll rent. He'll get rent of 4 million, but he's paying 1 million for the next 20 years. It is a steal. And if you hear this thing and you don't take advantage of it, on Judgment Day, God will ask you. You mean you were living in a 2-bedroom apartment when you could have taken something bigger because you didn't want to do the documentation and move forward? This is the major thing that I wanted to share with us today. As you are doing all your investments, doing all your planning, please take advantage of MRIF. It's open to every single Nigerian. You can access that money and take it and do something. If you don't want to get a big house, get a small house. You can buy carcass. If you don't want to buy a full-fledged house, you can buy a carcass and hold for the long term. This real estate thing, there are different dynamics to it. This new road that they opened, what's that road? Coastal Road. There are some houses that are hanging there, uncompleted. Those are good properties to buy. When we are passing there, we'll be looking at it. That is, if it is even available. Because there might be secret owners that are just waiting. Once they develop the house, you just see those. That's how big people think. The difference between us and big men is that they sit down to articulate, put this thing on paper and say, this is how I want to do it. And that's the discipline that I want us to take in. What's the difference between them and us? We just come to church, pray, you say, receive it in the name of Jesus. I don't used to say amen for all those kind of, if you don't put in hard work, money cannot just drop from heaven. But when I invest money and the thing drop as dividend, when I'm shouting hallelujah, it's justified. You didn't put money anywhere. You didn't invest. Somebody will come and pray, you will be receiving. What are you receiving? Empty. It can never, nothing will come out of it. I like how I've put things in place so that I can be getting surprises, and I'm still grateful to God every time it comes, because it's God that gave the wisdom for it. Put your money aside. Stop spending everything that you earn. It is a sin to spend everything that you earn. You live from hand to mouth. When you do your budgeting, you earn 500,000, your budget is 500,000, you are wrong. You earn 500,000, your budget is 580,000, you are wrong. Cut down your budget. I used to tell people, we stop drinking bottled water. I'll be asking them, Who am I again? Am I drinking bottled water? Please, let's buy pure water. We'll cut it down. I respect myself. We're drinking lawyer. My children like it. It's fine. They decided to take it to 4,000. I'm like, for what? Are there not other milks in the market? Let me shock you. Lawyer and what's the name of this one now? You know how these companies do. When cowbell came into the market, they positioned for the average Nigerian. It was the poor people that were buying it. They saw that this thing is misrepresenting us. They bought Mixi. They brought it into the market. People didn't know that it's cowbell that owns Mixi. Then they brought lawyer. And then they are pricing lawyer 4,000 something. And Mixi, the refill, is 2,000, is 3,200. Lawyer is 4,000 something. It is the same thing. Goes through the same machine. When it's time for packaging, it goes to another belt, another trolley belt. Then they bring it out and position in the market, just to own the market. But we don't know. Some of this television, LG, all of these ones, it's the same thing. Techno, and all of this, it's the same thing. They come in the market, they give it different branding. Remove that thing from your mind that more expensive is more quality. It's a lie. Dig deep. Do the groundwork and find out what you are paying for. It's not always the case. In some cases, yes, it is not. Cut down your budget in a way that it's comfortable for you to save. Remember what I said. That big person or that other lady that you are competing. So some people will be comparing. You see, I have a few hair. I have like 4. Allow me to do this. I've been wanting to do it. I have only 4 hair. 4. And they are not too expensive. But I didn't buy it with money that I earned. I can never. I see it as a sin. I see it as a waste. I'm telling you, I made sure that it was money that came out of an investment. I targeted a sale. Sales, not regular. Sales, I always target it. Then I put the money in and I observed jelly. Until then, I was carrying my braid. Then the money came out and I turned it over. Then I used it to buy hair. Don't carry your money and go and be buying direct. You will now see somebody that is wearing, you are competing with, you don't know. So you will now see this my hair now, you'll be thinking that I have money and you want to do, it's not like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Big people, before they buy the car, they make an investment and make sure that it gives yield that can pay for that car. Then they use it and they are on the road driving. You will carry 9 million naira, buy Tokumbo and enter the road. If you want to buy a car, look for an investment that will give you the proceeds to buy that car. Turn your money over before you spend it. That's how people build wealth. Remember what I said? Money grows. Money grows like a tree. It grows. The only thing is you can't physically put it inside the ground. But money grows. Be aware. Study. Ask questions. Be inquisitive. Find that. Look, FGN bonds, minimum 5,000 naira. That one I was telling you. And then you'll be getting interest. Every single month, you'll be getting interest. If you stagger it the way that I showed you. 3 months, so I didn't say do it for too long. Stagger it for 3 months, save for 3 years. You'll be getting monthly dividends entering your account. Buy stocks, buy shares, they'll pay dividends. There are some that pay dividends on a monthly basis, though those ones are really high. Put your money in mutual funds. Look for different investments. See this thing I told you about palm oil now. We'll cash out. There's something called commercial paper. It's more short term than bonds. All these companies, they do it from time to time. Look for companies, and I have about 4 or 5 or maybe 6, I don't know, running. Minimum 500k. Struggle, put inside 20%, 22%. When the money comes in, it will come in when you need it. Plan yourself in a way that you have money towards when you have bills. So beginning of the year, my rent falls beginning of the year. So I push my investment in a way that yield comes beginning of the year. Then I can cash out. When you save your rent, don't put your rent in your savings account. If you are so lazy, you want to put it in your savings account, do fixed deposits. 90 days, you'll get money. It's small, but it's better than that 3% bank will give you. Buy treasury bills. 180 days. You will see 90 days. That's 3 months. You will get, even if it's 10% that you get on that money, 15% of 0 is what? 0. At all. Not bad.
It's better to get something small than nothing at all. And the discipline of holding that capital. When the money now comes back, you have that money. Have the discipline to reinvest. It's okay to splurge at the end of the year if you are saving investment yield. Not that you will carry money December and can be blowing like other people. Save money so that towards the end of the year, you have different maturities. Take the interest and enjoy this life. Now workshop, no be work die. We didn't come to suffer hours. I used to tell people, I didn't come to this life to suffer. I'm a young girl. I have to enjoy myself. When will I do it? When people are carrying me. I like enjoyment. I'm telling you, I like enjoyment. I like the good things of life. But we have to use wisdom to do it. Don't use the money you earn to do everything. Invest your money, save, diversify. Use wisdom. Let wisdom guide us. I don't know if there's anything I've left out, but I think this is a good place to end it. Inflation. Inflation erodes savings. Invest to beat inflation. Last slide, brother, before the thank you one. MREF is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to own homes. Please don't miss MREF. Let me tell you something. The criminal inside of me feels that if things go wrong with this administration, it can be free money. Don't lose it. I'm telling you. Because this is a country where anything goes. You can pay for 10 years. One new policy will come like this. They'll say, they'll just leave it. You would have gotten a house. You see this NREF. God will judge you if you don't do it. Me, I'm processing it too. I'm trying to use it to get a house. Because I've been saving for house. Do you know how many years I'll save? In my estate, houses are 160 million. I've been approaching people, they'll be doing me anyhow. One man said he wants cash. I said, so if I give you 160 million cash, you accept it and look at me normally. Say, yes, people are doing it. 160 million. What do I want to invest and get 160 million in the next 4 years? If you miss this NREF, you will sleep like this, your sleep will not balance. You will just be disturbed. Don't miss this opportunity. I did not say once in a lifetime, once in a generation. The way Tinubu is changing things, now people are paying tax, everything. Look, I used to tell people that I will stay in this Nigeria until they start catching people for tax. I don't pay tax, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because the government doesn't do anything for me. I pay for my light, I pay for my security, I pay for my water, I take care of myself. I earn as an independent consultant, and because you have to go yourself and declare the tax. If it was salary from a company, then they will cut it. I will not argue. Do you understand what I'm saying? But now it's going to be impossible for anybody to evade tax. Now it's time for me to go out of this country, because I cannot dodge it again. They're going to be taking my money when they are not paying for anything. You need to think frugally like that when you're doing things. You see, this MREF is a gamble, and the money is already there. They can declare this, and they've paid people. They've started. They are giving the loan. It's not hearsay. People have started accessing it. They are buying their houses. So take advantage of it. It's just like that time they were sharing free money. I was among the people that they called now. Something about the government. I said, please, please, please don't give me. I don't support this government. There are people they gave that money till today. They have not deducted anymore. I kept saying, oh, they will deduct money from their account later. They will do. No. It was free money. Because later, when they now asked them what has this administration, they came and declared that they shared money. So it was legit. MREF is legit. Please, don't miss it. I am begging you. I was telling you, I said, this one thing. Because he said, I want you to come and tell my people. I said, for this one, I will come. I want to share about it. Biko, don't miss it. Plan not just for today, but for your children's tomorrow. Please invest in education fund. All this leadway assurance, all this, they have all these plans where you can pay 50K for the next thing. Pay. You don't have to count money from your pocket and pay school fees. See this term school fees now. You see, that's why my husband, he really loves me. Then I was telling him, he said, let's see whether we'll do installment. Tell them we'll pay 2 times. I said, I have one money that I've been putting aside. I just matured. So I was doing one app, economy. I don't even know what they call it. The money just matured. It was time. Whether I invest or do this, I just told him, I'm going to gift you this term school fees. And I just brought it out and plugged it in. That's what investment does. It takes the friction out of life. When you put it, the money will just come when you are not even expecting it. Okay? And then couples must save and invest according to their stage of life. You see how I broke it down? Please follow the stage of your life. Don't go and follow people. It's like me now insisting that I will live in one kind of house when, see the age of the couples that have that. It's not all. There are younger people too. In fact, I know a couple that is younger that have their own house. But the guy is a software person. But just live life according to your own stage. Don't, look at the other person and be saying this how I want to be or this one. I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to ginger you. So,
thank you very much. Can we do something? I know we can do better.